Hello and welcome to Behind the Bearcat. This is the podcast where the Northwest Missouri State University Career Services Office chats with Northwest faculty, staff, students, alumni, and friends to hear about their career journeys, how they got to where they are, and how they became Bearcats. I'm Northwest Internship Coordinator Travis Klein.
And I'm Hannah Christian, the Director of Career Services here at Northwest. And today's guest is...
Hi. Hi, guys. My name is Taina Diaz. I'm from Brazil. I actually graduated Human Resources degree here in Northwest, and now I'm doing Information System as my master. I know it's totally different, but yeah, that's who I am.
So what is your current title? What brings you right to campus?
My current title, I'm the Graduate Assistant here at Career Service. Yeah, I'm brand new here.
Awesome. Well, welcome, Taina. It is a pleasure to have you with us today. Can you tell us a little bit of your story? Tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got to Northwest and how you got to Career Services.
Oh, great. So yeah, as I said, I'm from Brazil. I love traveling. So I came here to United States, I would say about 7 years ago. And I went to community college and I transferred here to Northwest. And I literally just Google it and kind of what I needed in a college, and Northwest was like my first option. And then I was like, okay, I'm liking it. So I didn't have time to come like visit the campus. So I have to do everything online. But I got in contact with a lot of office and everybody helped me so much. And I felt like they hugged me, even though they didn't know me at all. So that's actually the main reason I chose Northwest, because even though I never visited the campus before I got here, I just felt they helped me so much that I was like, yeah, that's going to be my second home, away from home, 100%. So basically that's it. And I have been here now for 3 years, I say. Yeah.
So when you came to the United States, did you speak English?
No, I actually lived in Australia for a little bit. So I did learn a little bit of English there, but not much. And then when I come to United States, I study English because I just could say, hi, my name is Taina. I don't speak English. That's all I could say. And then I study and I graduated English as my second language. And then I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. And then I didn't know I wanted to go to college in here, but then I just fell in love with the United States. And then the things kind of go by itself. And now I'm here.
You mentioned you went to community college. Where did you go to community college at? Was it close to Northwest or was it somewhere completely different?
No, it was Kansas. I love the Midwest. I love the Midwest. So I went to a community college in Kansas. It's called Cloud County Community College. And then, yeah, and then I knew I wanted to be in the Midwest because I think people here are just so nice. It's just they're super nice. And I was like, I cannot go anywhere else. So I was like, okay. I saw Northwest and then I saw it was in Missouri, super close. And I was like, perfect. That's where I have to go, 100%. That's how I chose, basically.
So how did you choose your degree?
Human resources or information system or both?
Both.
So I came here when I transferred, I was just a business major. And then I wasn't sure exactly which field I wanted to go, you know what I mean? But then I have this awesome class with a professor in human resources, Cindy Kinko, and I just fell in love with the class. And I fell in love with the way she was teaching it. And I just like that class, something just clicked in my mind, like never clicked before. And I was like, okay. I talked to her. I was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit more, like how would it be my life if I studied this major? And then she told me, and since then I just fell in love. I graduated, and then I wasn't sure if I was going to go to grad school or not, but I just felt I was missing a piece. I knew I was good at that, but I was missing something else. And I was always, I'm passionate about talking with people and helping people. It's like, I love to do that, but I'm also passionate about technology. I see it's like, I love a challenge. So when you work with people, you have the challenge. When you work with technology, you also have the challenge. So I love both of this. And people always told me, like, you're great at communicating. Oh, but you're great at technology. And I was like, So I just kind of combined two together. It's totally different, but I love it. And it goes perfect with like who I am. So that's basically it. Nothing in my life is normal, so I love it.
I'm interested. So you were from Brazil, so you grew up there,
Yeah,
went to high school there, or secondary school there, I assume.
yeah.
So what was that decision like to leave your home country and come to college in another country? Because I can see a lot of people, who are domestic students who, wow, that would be awesome to go study abroad. But even just that short-term commitment for some of our students in the U.S. is a lot. So you decided to go thousands of miles away to college. How was that decision process like?
Well, you guys might laugh at me at this. I don't tell people very often, but I'm just gonna open my book here. I always wanted to study abroad, and my dream was actually California. See the movies and stuff like that. But what clicked to me in my mind, it was like, go. I was a big fan of High School Musical. I know it's silly, but it's true. And then I went to their concert in Brazil and they were speaking English, and I did not understand a single thing. I cried. I felt a pain in my heart. Like it was painful. And I was like, okay, number one, I'm going to learn English. I'm going to go study abroad. So I started like for years. That wasn't my process super fast. For years and years and years, I kind of started doing my research. Because when I had everything ready, my mind set up, I had options, and I just showed my mother and I was like, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how it's going to cost. This is how it's going to go. And she couldn't be like, oh, you cannot. I had an answer for that because
Mhm.
it was my dream all along. And the moment I left Brazil, I felt that's who I needed to be. Like I found the real Taina here in the United States, which I never knew that was gonna be. But if I look back, the Taina in Brazil and the Taina here seems like two completely person. Like I can't explain. Seems like I was born here, guys, even though I wasn't. I just have so much love for this country and all the people I met and everything I had building here in this almost 7 years that it's insane. But basically, I think High School Musical a little bit. I know it's silly, but it's true. I know. I still love them, by the way. Yeah.
So how did you find the graduate assistantship in career services? And I know you were also a student employee as well, right?
I
Can you talk
was.
about how, as someone who came as an international student, how did you approach finding an on-campus job and then a graduate assistantship?
So yeah, when I got here, I was desperate about finding a job like mostly people are, right? And then when I got my first job, it was like once just a month. And it was like for maybe 20 hours a week, and that's it. But I was happy. That's what I got. And I applied for everything you can possibly think. But that's the thing I love the most about Northwest is like when you do one thing and you do it right and you start making connections with people, you talk with people and then they're gonna see who you are, you start building. So I was working in the international office. That's where I started working. And then they liked the way I worked. So when they had a position open to work as an office assistant, I 100% applied. I got the job and I worked there for 2 years, I think. And I just left when I graduated college. But then this whole time I worked there, that's how I made connections. People from different office, different students. I met a lot of people, and that's what is important when you're in college. I think you should totally use that. Go out of your comfort zone. I was out of my country. I was speaking another language that wasn't mine, in a totally different culture. You gotta adapt. So you gotta open your mind, and even though it's hard, and nothing's going to come to you easily like, oh, I didn't get that, let's just give up. No, keep going because you're going to find the right thing that fits you. And then I made a connection with this whole year 2 years that I was in international office with the people in the career service, and they knew me. So when I saw the
Because I'm going to interrupt you here. How did we know you? Could you please be very explicit about how we knew you?
okay, I have two theories in my mind. First one is because I did come here like to the career service for questions. I would ask about my resume, help finding jobs, like all of that. Because even though my major was human resources, but I always like to come here and like see how things go over here so I can myself grow. And that's how they did. And I remember when I was looking for internship, I was crazy, like all the time, please help me all the time. And they did. They helped me 100% of my resume because I had no idea how to start a resume. And then I had one and it was not good. And then that was like mainly, I think. And then I would say that also the second one might be when I actually was working with students, that you guys would see me around doing tours and stuff. And that would be like, hi, no, hi. I was like, I'm coming here later just so you can see my resume. So I think that mainly, and then I think my face got familiar that so many times that I came over here. And then I saw this job open. I 100% applied. And I was like, and I wasn't even Northwest. I left for a while. And then when I saw the job, it was like, it's meant to be. I'm gonna apply. I'm gonna go back. I miss Northwest. And now that I'm back, I'm so happy with my job, with my everything. Super exciting.
That job, though, is a more data focused role than you were in before, right?
100%.
So I mean, I designed the test that you had to take in your interview. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, because I was used to be like working with people, all people. So the GA job now is totally different than what I'm used to, which, as I said, I like the challenge. 100% challenge myself. So when we had the interview, we did have to look into data and like find errors, like things that would people would just read it through it, maybe just miss it. And then I was like, okay, sounds like a challenge. I'm liking it. And then we were looking through that, and that was, I think, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, I did even find like one that maybe you guys didn't see or something like that. Remember that? And I was like, okay, I wasn't sure if I was doing sorry. Keep on falling. And then the other one that I loved so much is just we like kind of keeping checking students, like they graduated, how they're doing, to see. And it's so good. Like I never thought that point of view. Like so many students, they graduated, now you see they're working in a super cool company, super cool like job. And I love that part too. And I was like, okay, it's calling me, challenge. So yeah, and it's totally different. As I said, there's the people type of job that I will be interacting with people, but there's this other part that's me and the computer and the data. And I love it because they're both me. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that
I
was
love
funny.
it.
Yeah, that was funny. So I think you missed one error that I had, but then I think you got an error that
Yes,
I
yes, yes,
missed.
yes.
So it's real hard to say that you're not detail oriented if you're finding errors that I actually missed and I'm the one who made the test. So
That was
kudos to
true.
you on that part.
Thanks. Maybe that's
So
how I got
what
the job.
what has been so far the most, so coming back in, what has been the biggest difference between being a master's student and being an undergraduate student?
Yes, I now that I am one, I kind of face like a little adjusting to it because even might be because of my major too, it totally changed. But like when you're a master's student, you're in a level that you gotta know what you're doing because you graduated, you have a degree, so you kind of like gotta know what you're doing, and it might be challenging, but it's so worth it. Like everybody that is around me saw me the first week. I was like, oh, am I gonna be able to do it? Like I was so nervous. And as the weeks start going by, things start to flow. You start making connections with people in your classes. People help you. I found an angel in my class that's helping me so much now. And then I was like, okay, it's hard, but it's adjusting. It's a thing that you gotta put in your mind, and you're gonna do it. It's gonna be worth it. And your master, if you see, is just like a couple years, depending what you're studying, of course. um but it's just it's different. It's like you're in college, but at the same time you grew up and you kind of, you know what I mean. But I love it. It's totally different environment for college that I never thought it would be. It's totally different, but it's super cool. And I'm taking just 3 classes, let's point that, which I love it. Yeah, that's basically like challenge, but worth it.
What advice would you give to other international students who are looking to find a job on campus?
Okay, yes. So I would love to tell you guys, like when you're looking for jobs here at campus, don't be picky, open your mind. Even if it's like something you're like, oh, I'm not interested in that, you might find something that you like, love it, you don't even know. So, and you got to try things to know if you like or not, correct? So if you really want a job, apply for everything you see. Of course, there's some of them that they have certain qualifications and it's like not better not to, but if you see other things, even like in the office, working outside with the plants. Doesn't matter. Apply. Enjoy the opportunity, because the moment you get a job, the doors start opening for you and you start making connections, because networking and making connections is very important here in the United States. In Brazil, where I'm from, it's not kind of like as a big deal, but here I learned. So get out of your comfort zone, apply for the jobs, make connection with people. If you need help, you don't know how to do it, come to the career service. There's a lot of people that can help you. Professors can always give you tips too. So enjoy the like everything in Northwest offer. And it's not impossible. Just try it. My first semester I didn't get a job. I got it my second one. So, and here I am. Now I got a GA job. Who have thought? Like, I've never thought. Like the girl that was crying because never got a job here my first semester. Now look how I'm here, a GA position. What? I still cannot believe. Sometimes I go to bed thinking, is it true? It's like a dream, I swear to you. So don't give up. It's just, I know things might not go the way you plan, but better things in the way, whatever is for you, it will come to you. That's 100%.
You mentioned networking. So, applying for jobs, but also talk to me about if you're an international student and you're coming from a different culture. Explain to me how you approach networking, or what do you mean by networking?
So, okay. When I say, I'm gonna say my personal case, okay? So when I got here, I started networking first with my professor. So what would networking be? I would go to the office, I would ask questions, I would like open up to the culture. There was, for example, when people would say, oh, do you want to go grab a coffee at Starbucks? I would love to hear your life. Sometimes it's hard, because it might not be normal for you to do that at home. But even though for me, I'd be like, that person doesn't know me. Why do you want to go to Starbucks with me? I'll be, yeah, of course, let's go. And then they would just want to hear your story. And sometimes might be weird, but be who you are, be yourself. Don't try to be anything else that you're not. As long as be a good person, open yourself and open your mind for this country, and how there's so many people here trying to help you. And sometimes it might be like, why are they trying to help me? Literally just because they're good people. That's the only answer for that, because I question myself so many times. Like, why are people trying to help me? Like, is it normal? Yes, it is. Open your mind, and go networking. When I say networking, talk with people. Don't be shy. Ask questions. If you don't know something, there's so many people here in Northwest that can help you. Go to the office. One thing I always recommend people, like, I want to do something. You don't know where to go. Let's say resume, like here. You're going to go to the Northwest website, and then you're going to go to the search bar. That's what I always recommend people. Resume. Who is going to pop up? Career service. Let's just a tip. And then you're like, oh, where's the office? I'm going to go over there tomorrow and ask questions. So always enjoy of what we have to offer here. So that's what I did. I didn't know one thing, I would go to one office. I didn't know another thing, I would go to other. And then people started knowing who I was. So when I applied for jobs, they were like, oh, Taina Diaz. Oh, I know that girl. She been here before. And that's how I started building my connections. And I didn't even know, guys. I kind of like was doing, and I thought I was like, oh, I'm networking. Networking, oh my gosh, that's a good thing to do. And that's how I did. So get out of your comfort zone, open yourself, and talk to people. And then people are going to accept you the way you are. And then you're just going to start making your connections when you're like, oh, I know that people, I know that people. Now I know a lot of people here on campus.
You had some internships. Oh, sorry, Travis.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask too. So,
okay.
Great minds.
You guys connected.
Cut this part. Cut.
Yep. So you mentioned having some internships. So where did you do your internships at?
So it's all related to the networking I met here in Northwest, because it was COVID time. Things were super hard. People were losing their internships. And then I was like, I need to get one to graduate. It was required. So thanks to my networking I made here in Northwest, all the people connections I made, I was able to found this internship. And I was able to move to Omaha in the middle of a pandemic when nobody was finding jobs. It was so hard, guys. But it wasn't like, oh, happened out of nowhere. It took time of me searching, spent hours doing that, asking for help and all of that. And then thankfully I did find one at the right time. and I moved to Omaha, Nebraska during the summer. I did an internship with a company called Home Care Advocacy Network, and they were a brand new company, so they needed everything I have learned in class. So most of the things I learned in class and working on campus, because you learn a lot too. All those things combined, I brought to the company during my summer internship, and I helped them a lot. And it was super sad to leave. Like I cried all of that and now they became a family to me. I'm still in touch with them. They're awesome people, and I'm very friends with everybody there, and they're kind of family already. So see, networking again. The network is involved in everything. It's like
that's a good point that you bring up there. So internships, we often talk about or think about they're giving us skills, right? To be able to work in that industry. But honestly, one of the best opportunities with internships is for building your network, especially if that's a field you want to go into.
Yeah, exactly. And I met so many people that they're such great connections, and they're like, oh, anytime you graduate, just let us know. And the only reason I haven't like connected with nobody yet, or even people I met a career day that I made connections over there too, it's because I knew I was missing this one piece, and it was to go to grad school. I knew, and I was like, as I said, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. So I was like, I need to go grad school. But I had all these connections that I made with my internship, going to the career day, and I even have an offer, guys. Offer from the when I went to the career day from people that I met there, because I went 1 year, one semester, and again, and they already know who I am because I'm always now working with them. So that's the thing. I never knew networking was going to be a huge thing in my life, but here it is. Everything involves it, honestly.
What do you see yourself doing in the future? So you finish your degree, finish your assistantship here. What are you kind of looking at in the future?
Oh, that's the hardest question ever, because I'm the type of person that pretty much goes with the flow. Yeah, I have no, because when you get out of your like country, your home, you have to go with the flow. Otherwise, you go crazy. Basically, I mean, for me, that works. I see myself here in the United States, 100%. As I said, this country got my heart. However, I don't know exactly yet how I'm going to combine my two majors with people, skills, with the technology side. I want to combine both of them because they're who I am. I just don't know exactly which way yet. But since I'm brand new in my master program, it's just my first semester. I I think like maybe next semester when I'm watching this just to see, oh, let's see what I said. I'll probably have a clearer mind. But as of the moment, I don't know. I don't know. I want to be in the Midwest. I thought you love the Midwest, but I don't know what kind of job yet. I don't know. That's a great question. I should reflect on that. Or maybe when I graduate, who knows?
You got plenty of time.
I do. But yeah, as long as I can combine both and be in a company that I feel like I'm helping grow, I'm helping the people, the organization, like that thing, I know I'll be happy. So, and that's the main thing, right? Help the organization like be successful. So yeah, as long as I'm doing that, I know I'll be happy in the Midwest. I don't know, guys, actually, whatever the future takes me. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other not quite so hard questions. Travis, help me out.
Well, usually when we have graduate students, especially on here, we like to ask them, if you could go back to, first year in college, Taina, and talk to her, what advice would you give yourself that you've learned over the last, 4 or 5 years?
That's a good one. Oh, I'm imagining myself in front of me right now and be, hey, Taina, stop crying, girl. Stop. Don't overthink like you're overthinking. Don't try to make things go like your way, like it's gonna go the way it's supposed to. Oh, you didn't do as good in this first test. It's okay. You're getting used to it. It's everything new. going to college the first year is something totally different. Getting used to all like the going to class and then doing all the homework and everything, studying a lot that you have to do in college. I was overwhelmed, but I wanted to say, hey, you got this. You're smart. Take step by step. Do what you can now. Tomorrow, do a little more. And then when you least imagine, boom, you have everything you need. Just don't overthink, because that was my biggest problem. I was overthinking all the time. What was going to be? What my future is going to be? But now look at me. I'm telling you, I go with the flow. Never thought I'd be saying that. But here I am. Just like, don't stress, because go take a day at a time and just know you're doing your best. And sometimes it's okay not to be okay. Take a deep breath, relax, take a day off if you need. Talk with people, just because I kind of was like, I'm not going to tell people, I'm ashamed. No, talk with people. There's people everywhere you can talk. Just don't overthink and overload yourself, because you're going to be okay. Oh, I'm going to cry. That's so nice. I love it. But yeah, literally, that's it. And enjoy your time. College is so fun. I love it. Northwest is fun. Right?
True, it is.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank
That's
you
it.
for being a guest, Taina.
Yeah, of course. I'm so excited, guys. I love talking, so I could do this for days. Anytime you guys want.
All right. Well, that will do it for another episode of Behind the Bearcat, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed that episode. Don't forget that you can find the audio version of the podcast on your podcast platform of choice. New episodes come out every Friday, and you can connect with us on social media on both Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for joining us for Behind the Bearcat, and we'll talk to you next time.